America's prosperity was built on its industrial might. Brands like Ford and John Deere became icons of American strength. They stood for innovation, diligence, and success. For decades, these companies offered well-paying jobs. They powered the American dream. But now, the landscape is shifting. These once steadfast names are exiting America. Ford, the giant of the auto industry, is moving out. John Deere, the pillar of American farming, is doing the same. This isn't just about two companies. It's a sign of a deeper problem. It's a hit to the core of the American economy. And it begs a haunting question: what lies ahead for American manufacturing? The reasons behind this significant departure are multifaceted. Ford points to escalating production costs in the US. The global market dynamics have shifted. Overseas, cheaper labor and relaxed regulations are enticing. John Deere shares these concerns. They also highlight tariffs and trade conflicts. They argue that the current business environment is unsustainable. Yet, some suggest there are other reasons. Is it simply about maximizing profits? Are these companies deserting the workers who built them? Or is there a deeper concern? A concern that America is losing its competitive edge? Regardless of the reasons, the outcome is clear. Thousands of jobs lost. Communities devastated. For many, the American dream is becoming a nightmare. The immediate consequences are undeniable. Communities dependent on Ford and John Deere are in turmoil. Unemployment rates are soaring. Families are finding it hard to make ends meet. The ripple effects are extensive. Local businesses are shutting down. Tax revenues are dwindling. The social fabric of these towns is unraveling. The American heartland, once a beacon of strength and resilience, is suffering. And this is just the start. The full extent of this departure's impact is still unfolding. But one thing is clear: the economic hardship will linger for years. The long-term repercussions are even more alarming. The empty factory floors and abandoned assembly lines are not just signs of economic downturn. They are indicators of a deeper, more widespread issue that will impact future generations. As manufacturing jobs vanish, so does a crucial part of the American identity. These jobs have been the backbone of our communities, offering not just income, but a sense of purpose and pride. The American flag in a factory setting is more than just a symbol. It represents the hard work and dedication of countless individuals who have contributed to the nation's prosperity. The skills and knowledge passed down through generations are at risk. The intergenerational workforce, where older workers mentor the younger ones, is a tradition that has sustained industries for decades. Hands-on machine work is not just a job. It's a craft, an art form that requires years of experience and dedication. Losing this means losing a part of our cultural heritage. The loss of these jobs will have a profound impact on the American psyche. Distressed workers leaving the factory, groups of somber individuals, and empty production lines are not just images. They are the reality for many. This loss will lead to a collective sense of despair and hopelessness, affecting mental health and community cohesion. It will undermine our sense of self-reliance. The factory closure announcements and workers packing up their belongings are stark reminders that our economic stability is fragile. Decommissioned factory machinery stands as a testament to what once was and what may never be again. This erosion of self-reliance will make us more dependent on external forces, weakening our national resilience. It will fuel feelings of anger, resentment, and betrayal. The sight of protesters at factory gates, angry workers during strikes, and heated town hall meetings are manifestations of a deeper, underlying frustration. People feel betrayed by a system that promised stability and prosperity, but delivered uncertainty and loss. This anger can lead to social unrest and further divide our communities. And it will leave a void that will be difficult to fill. The deserted factory sites, empty industrial parks, and silent assembly lines are not just physical spaces. They are voids in our economic and social fabric. Filling this void will require more than just economic policies. It will require a reimagining of what work means in America. The departure of Ford and John Deere is a canary in the coal mine. These iconic brands leaving their manufacturing roots signal a broader trend that could spell disaster for the American economy. The four-lease signs on manufacturing plants are not just business transactions. They are warnings that our industrial base is eroding. It is a warning sign that America can no longer take its economic dominance for granted. The economic charts showing decline, empty office buildings, and closed storefronts are indicators that our economic landscape is changing. We can no longer assume that our position as a global economic leader is secure. We must adapt and innovate to maintain our standing. We are at a crossroads, and the choices we make today will determine our fate for generations to come. The crossroads sign in the industrial area symbolizes the critical decisions we face. Factory workers holding the American flag and looking towards the future represent hope and resilience. The path we choose now will shape the destiny of our nation, and it is imperative that we choose wisely. Section 5. Trump's Fury. A nation in shock. The announcement of Ford and John Deere leaving the country sent ripples of shock throughout the nation. However, it was the White House's reaction that truly caught everyone off guard. President Trump, famous for his fiery speeches and unpredictable behavior, exploded with rage. He turned to Twitter, his favorite platform, and unleashed a barrage of furious tweets. He labeled the companies as traitors and unpatriotic. He promised retribution, threatening tariffs and taxes that would force them to return. His statements, filled with anger, bravado, and threats, only added to the chaos. Instead of calming the situation, they intensified the atmosphere of uncertainty and fear. The business community watched in shock. The stock market plummeted. It felt as though America was teetering on the edge. Section 6. Policy Paradox. Trump's conflicting stances. Trump's fiery response highlighted a glaring contradiction. This was a president who had anchored his entire campaign on the revival of American manufacturing. He had tirelessly campaigned, garnering support from the heartland, with promises to restore the golden era of American industry. He vowed to bring back jobs and rejuvenate America's industrial prowess. His speeches painted vivid pictures of bustling factories and thriving communities, where American workers would once again be the backbone of the economy. Yet his policies, often inconsistent and erratic, fostered an environment of uncertainty and instability. Business leaders were left in a perpetual state of confusion, trying to navigate the unpredictable landscape shaped by abrupt policy changes and conflicting directives. His trade wars and tariffs alienated allies and disrupted global supply chains. The imposition of tariffs on key trading partners led to retaliatory measures, causing a ripple effect that impacted industries far and wide. The once seamless flow of goods was now plagued by delays and increased costs. His tax cuts, while benefiting corporations, did little to trickle down to the working class. The promised economic boom for everyday Americans remained elusive as the wealth gap continued to widen. Corporate executives enjoyed record profits, while many working families struggled to make ends meet. The departure of Ford and John Deere laid bare the emptiness of Trump's promises. These iconic American companies, symbols of industrial strength, found it increasingly difficult to operate in the volatile environment. Their exit was a blow to the very communities Trump had vowed to uplift. It exposed the disconnect between his rhetoric and reality. The grand promises made on the campaign trail seemed distant and unattainable, leaving many supporters disillusioned. The skepticism grew as the gap between what was said and what was delivered became more apparent, and it left many wondering, was this the beginning of the end for American manufacturing? The once vibrant industrial towns now faced an uncertain future, grappling with the harsh realities of a changing economic landscape. The question loomed large: could American manufacturing ever truly be revived? Or were these promises just another chapter in a long history of political rhetoric? Section 7. A Bleak Future. The decline of American manufacturing? The departure of Ford and John Deere highlights the critical issues plaguing American manufacturing. These legendary brands, once the pillars of American industry, now represent a sector in turmoil. Their exit emphasizes the need to address the root causes of this decline. Globalization, automation, and evolving consumer demands have converged to create significant challenges. Global supply chains have made overseas production more cost-effective, while technological advancements have increased automation, reducing the need for human labor. Simultaneously, consumers are seeking more variety and customization, adding pressure to traditional manufacturing models. The traditional methods of manufacturing are no longer viable. Factories that once thrived on mass production are now struggling to keep pace with rapid changes. Outdated equipment and processes are being phased out as the industry shifts towards more efficient and adaptable production methods. The pressing question is, can America adapt? Can we discover new ways to compete in an ever-evolving global market? The solution lies in our ability to innovate and adopt new technologies. It requires a shift in mindset, from holding on to the past to embracing the future. Can we rejuvenate our manufacturing sector and create an environment where companies can flourish? This involves investing in research and development, supporting education and training programs, and fostering a culture of innovation. It also means rethinking our trade and economic policies to ensure that American businesses can compete fairly on the global stage. Or are we destined to become a nation of consumers, dependent on foreign goods and vulnerable to global forces? The decisions we make today will shape our future. Will we continue to outsource our manufacturing capabilities, or will we take steps to rebuild and strengthen our industrial base? The answers are complex, and there are no easy solutions. Economists and policymakers are grappling with these questions, trying to find a balance between economic growth and social stability. The path forward will require difficult decisions and a willingness to embrace change. But one thing is certain: the stakes have never been higher. The decline of American manufacturing has far-reaching implications, not just for the economy, but for the very fabric of our society. Jobs, communities, and the American dream itself are all at risk. The future of the American economy, and indeed the American dream, hangs in the balance. It is up to us to decide whether we will rise to the challenge and build a brighter future, or whether we will allow the forces of change to dictate our destiny. The choice is ours, and the time to act is now. Section 8. The road ahead. Can America recover? America stands at a pivotal moment. The future is uncertain. The departure of Ford and John Deere is a stark reminder. It's a time for introspection, honesty, and decisive action. We need to prioritize education and workforce development. Embracing innovation and technology is crucial. Collaboration between government, business, and labor is essential for a competitive and sustainable future. The American spirit embodies resilience, ingenuity, and determination. We've overcome challenges before, and we will again. The journey ahead will be tough, but America is far from finished. We have the strength to rise to the occasion. The future of the American dream depends on it.